The select command is the command that you will probably write and execute 90% of your time as a SQL Server database administrator, database programmer, designer, whatever you're going to do. The select statement is fundamental. It is what we use to retrieve data, and retrieving data is the only reason we put the stuff in a database to start with, and databases are extremely powerful in this respect. Now, the select statement tells the database, I want to retrieve some data from a particular table or from multiple tables, and we'll get into join statements and multiple tables and stuff later on. The select statement also tells the database what specific columns we want to retrieve data from that particular table or tables that we're pulling data from. Then we can also tell SQL Server what condition, if any, we want to apply to any data that is retrieved. For example, we only want to pull people out of our person database whose age is over 43 years old. We could do multiple conditions where age is over 43 and less than 59. And then we can also tell the database server how we want to view the retrieved data. What order is it in? Do we want it grouped a certain way? Do we want it aggregated? Do we want to see averages, sums, counts, all sorts of things? So the select statement can get pretty intense. Now, if you go out into Books Online and start looking at the select statement in Books Online, you'll see that it's actually so involved that they don't put it all on one page. It's divided into 3 or 4 sections. And I can't recommend strongly enough, unless you've been doing SQL, T-SQL querying for quite a long time, you need to be out there reading through that documentation. The best way to learn T-SQL, print out these commands in Books Online, take that with you. Nowadays, you can put it on your smartphone. Just go when you're standing in line, when you're waiting for stuff. Just start reading through some of this stuff. And it's amazing how it'll occur to you one day you're thinking, oh, wait a minute, I saw a way to do that somewhere. And you go dig through the documentation and there it is. Now, also, I want to leave you with this. The ability to execute the select statement is not automatically granted to everybody who connects to SQL Server. It is based on permissions. And so to be able to execute a select statement against a table or a view, you must have the select permission granted to you on that table or view. Now, it has to be granted either to your login or to a group that you're a member of. Now, this can also be inherited from a higher scope, and that would provide, for example, if the select permission has been granted on the schema, if the control permission has been granted on the table. But I don't want to go too far into permissions here, but just to understand, if you try to select from a particular table or view, you may not have permissions on it. You could have an issue. Now, membership in the following roles will automatically give you select permission. And as a matter of fact, this is where I'm getting my select permissions. If you're a member of the DB data reader role, the DB owner role, or the sysadmin role, and I am a member of the sysadmin role, then you will have the ability to select from any table or view in the database. So that's how I'm getting in there. But I just want you to keep in mind that, number one, the select command is complex. You owe it to yourself. We're going to work through it slowly here in the course and slowly build complexity, but you owe it to yourself. We will not cover it all, I promise you. Go out there and read it in the documentation and play with the examples and so forth that you see. So that's the basics on getting started on select. And let's take a look at some select structure, using where, the top clause, and some other things as we start to move on through the course.